Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you some details about search engine optimization. These are what we call on-page search engine optimization. In other words, they're specific to your site and this blog post. So one of the key elements that you want to focus on, again, we'll go through the title. You want to make sure the title contains a keyword phrase. The best titles, if it makes sense for the end user, is the keyword phrase. So if there's a question people are always asking, like, how do I stop my dog from jumping up, would be an indication here. Okay, so you could start with that question and use that as the blog title, and then you're much more likely to come up under that query if someone's searching for that in Google. Another thing, and this is going to be different on different people's systems, so it may or may not show up on your WordPress. I use an SEO tool called SEO Ultimate, and it's a plugin, so I recommend if your developer hasn't installed that for you. There's another one called All-in-One SEO, and that's real common. There's some reasons why I don't use that one specifically, but either way, a lot of times you'll have a section for SEO. And I should note too, if you're looking at this, at the top you have screen options, and the screen options will give you all the different things that you could check. And so if you uncheck anything, it disappears from the screen and you don't see it. So if you don't see anything about SEO, then I would go under screen options and see if there's anything about it. Another one that you want to have checked while we're in here is excerpt. And I'll show you that in a second. But SEO Ultimate will automatically create a title tag. The title tag by default is going to be based on the title of the blog post, which is good. That's fine. And it automatically just creates a description, which is fine as well. But if you want to hand create a title and a description, you can do that here. And so like with this, if you go, okay, well, training with timing, if let's say you were going after the training with timing keyword phrase, well, you might change the title to training with timing, and then like Portland, Oregon dog training. And then for the description, a lot of times you want to use a summary of what the article is about, again containing the keyword phrases. But you don't want to have those keyword phrases just listed out. You definitely don't want to have that. That just is not a good user experience. So you don't want to just have a list of keywords in the description tag. And then B, you don't want to have it just stuffed with keyword phrases. So basically you want it to read normally. You don't want people to look at it and go, why did they say it like that? So put in a description. When in doubt, I just use the first paragraph. But certainly you want to look at that and go, okay, in this case, the first paragraph says dogs are not stupid. They rescue people from disasters, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really talk about the timing. So then I might look at the second one and go, well, maybe I'll pull the first couple paragraphs from there. And then I might add a sentence before that. So it says, you can build a communication bridge with your dog by using timing with your training. And so I'm using this timing and training in there as well. So the main thing is to have this be as natural as possible. You want to have everything as natural as possible. The other thing that we do a lot of times, that's the best tool, is to use an excerpt. Basically, that's just to say when you go to the blog page, it only shows part of the content. And there's two different ways this happens. One, you can select within the content a place where the more link will be. So if I just add this, if I add and enter, this little button is the insert more tag. So if you put this in there, then it says everything below this line only shows up after people say continue reading. What I prefer to do, for various reasons, the best search engine tool is to make a custom excerpt. So instead of just using the first part of the blog post, which is real common, then create a summary of the post of maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 sentences at most, and have that as the excerpt. And the reason behind having an excerpt and then showing the excerpt in the blog and in the categories is because those blogs and categories create virtual pages, and so there's those pages aren't duplicating what you've already done if you create a custom excerpt and then you have a mashup of all the different excerpts of all the different blog posts. So I think that's how I have this configured, or I will, momentarily. But see, so the continue reading button is here, continue reading button is here, continue reading, etc. So they have the excerpt of the document, which I also have this set up with a tool that makes it so that it'll automatically, if I don't put in an excerpt, it'll automatically hit the continue reading after a certain number of characters. But you won't necessarily have that in there unless I built the site for you. Continue. Yeah. So this page, this blog page, is its own custom page. And if each blog excerpt is custom, then you have a whole new page of content. And beyond that, all of these tags are links as well. So if you click on clicker training, all the posts that have clicker training in it will show up on that page, and it'll use those excerpts. And so that's why you want to use excerpts, preferably custom written excerpts. So I'm giving you the really top of the line SEO. It does add more work, and so that's why you may or may not want to do it. But having custom excerpts of your content makes a big difference. There are 3 things. So to move on to, there are 3 on-page signals where your title comes in, or where your keyword phrase comes in. First, you have the title. The title needs to have your keyword phrase, and the title of the post should be the title of your SEO. And by default, even with no SEO tool, then that's how WordPress works. Is it makes the title the title of your post. So that's fine. It should be in the first sentence, first paragraph, and preferably. It's good to have it at least one place in a subheading. Another thing that you need to consider as far as your keyword phrase is the other phrases that aren't your phrase but are related. So that gets back in. If you look at the tags, you have a good idea of that. Timing training is related to clicker training. It's related to conditioning. It's marker training, all of that stuff. And so when you use those phrases, that helps build your site as well. For the most part, though, I don't recommend spending a lot of focus on trying to make your keyword be in there too many times, because one of the things Google looks at is over optimization, which means your keyword is basically stuffed in there too often. But the components of a good blog post, a really good blog post, is a descriptive title, well-written article that relates to what the end user is looking for, an image, at least one image, and a video. If you have those things on a post, that's considered a really good post. The other thing that you want to have happen is you want people to share your posts, so that you get that social proof. Basically, when people share your posts on Facebook and Twitter and all of that, then that's a signal to Google that you're an authority. And so that's part of what you need to do. So that gives you a really good, I think, fundamental education about how to use WordPress 3.5 and the SEO features of it. And hopefully that'll help you I'm going to record one more supplemental video to this that relates to pages, because virtually everything we've done relates to pages. The categories and the tags are the only things that aren't on the pages. So I'm going to record one more video, show you how about pages, but hopefully this has given you a great fundamental foundation for posting search engine friendly blog posts. Thanks.